Hi everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and today I'm going to show you how I made these gift boxes that are, you can purchase the boxes in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, and how I decorated them. This one I did with the Witch's Brew designer paper along with the Halloween bash, and I just made a rosette, a paper rosette and a banner edge here, wrapped some black cardstock around it, and then did the sides using this pattern paper. So that's from the Witch's Brew. And this is kind of like my Thanksgiving one. It's a sample, it's not the best looking one, but it kind of gave me the idea of where I was going with it. So let me show you how to put this one together. And we're going to start off with our box. So you get 8 boxes with the acetate sleeve in the kit. And what you're going to do is, I'm going to open this up. And what I do is I like to open it and then bend it in the opposite direction. And that kind of helps get our section together a little bit better there. So that's the outside part. Then for the box itself, I am again going to bend it so that my box is going in the other direction. And then I'm also going to bend down and fold all of these lines here. Okay, so to close the bottom of the box, what you do is you're going to take the flap that has the cutout, put that down first. Let me bend this back a little bit. Put that piece down first, then you're going to take your 2 side pieces and kind of lock them in there so they kind of slip underneath that tab. And then you're going to take this flap that has the section bumped out, and you're going to push that down until it locks into place. So that's how you do it. And then you can even take a little piece of pattern paper and stick it down the bottom so that you have, it kind of coordinates with the box. Now, let me show you how I decorated it. I took 2 pieces of 2" by 6.5" pattern paper. This comes from Sweater Weather. And then I have 2 that are 2" by 2¼ inches. I'm going to go ahead and do a little sponging of some crumb cake on the edges. So let me just grab a little sponge dauber. Okay, so I have my sponge dauber and I have my crumb cake ink. And I'm just going to go ahead and dab a little bit on here and then go right around the edges of my cardstock, and that just gives it a nice little prettier look to it. So I'll go ahead and do all 4 of these pieces. I inked all the edges. You would want to use some kind of other adhesive, maybe the sticky strip. I'm just going to use my Snail runner, and I'm going to flip the top open there and go ahead and put some adhesive on this one here. And then this will get lined up right along the edge so it centers nicely and gives you a little bit of a border piece there. So I'm going to do that to the rest of the pieces. Last one right on the edge, and that's it, how I add the pattern paper to it. And then you just take your little box here and slide that right over. The next thing I'm going to do is I have these paper doilies. They are the let's see, what are they called? They are called the white tea lace paper doilies, and I really love these. They're so cute. So I'm just going to bring in some scrap paper here, and with the ink that I have left on my dauber here from the crumb cake, I'm just going to go right around and do all the edges. Just kind of do a light little inking there. And then I'm going to just do some folding of the doily. So all I'm kind of doing is just giving it a little fan look. And once I get to about here, it seems to like to roll up. So what I do is I just take it and kind of fold it up. I just go with however the paper wants to work. So you have that, and then I'm just going to take my stapler and staple it together, and then you can fan it out, or you might need to do a little extra fanning and stapling just to get it so it stays in place. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is add some burlap. This is the burlap ribbon that comes in the holiday catalog. Love this ribbon. So what I'm going to do is measure out a piece, and I'm going to trim it off. Just like so. And then I'm going to kind of wrap it around as tight as I can. I'm going to pull it off here, holding onto it, and then I'm just going to line it up a little bit better. And then I'm going to use my stapler to kind of staple it into place. And then this will slide right back onto our box. So once it's on there, we don't have to worry about it. It's not coming off again because the whole plastic piece slides right off. So there we go. And then you'd be able to slide open your box. I want to make my little tag. I'm using the tag from it's the Framelits Apothecary Framelit set, and I'm using this die right here. And I already went ahead and cut it out using some very vanilla cardstock. I'm going to use my stamp set from the Truly Grateful, and I'm going to use this wood grain piece. And I'm going to stamp that out using Crumb Cake. So I'm going to ink it up, stamp off onto my piece of scrap, and then stamp it onto my die cut piece. And it gives it a little bit of a softer look. And then I'm going to use, this time I'm going to use Old Olive. And then you can use the stamp set also from that same stamp set, the Truly Grateful. And then I'm going to stamp the wheat right in the center, down a little bit from the top onto my card cutout there. So I'm going to take my Old Olive taffeta ribbon to bring in a little bit more of that color, and this I'm going to wrap around my box and my burlap ribbon. I'm going to cut off a piece here. I'm going to tie this into a bow. Before I do that, I'm going to do a little hole punch right on the top so we make it into a little bit of a tag. Then we will start tying this on, and once I tie it on, I'll decide where my little paper doily is going to go. Alright, so I'm going to take my paper doily. That's going to get tucked behind my ribbon piece. So we're going to staple it right into the center of that piece of burlap. So it kind of goes like this. Take my stapler and just stick it underneath that burlap. Staple it on there. Perfect. And then I can go ahead and tie my tag on. Okay, so I tied my bow. I'm just going to trim off that little tail there, and that is how I decorated this little box for Thanksgiving Day favors. I have this one that I did in the chocolate chip ink, and then I also have my little Halloween one too. So if you have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching. See you next time.